Okie dokie, artichoke. We are here. Hopefully, I think. After many Discord issues today.
Yeah, all sorts of things were twitchy. Except Twitch, I guess. So,
Oh, okay.
so yes, welcome to our next session. Nick won't be here with us tonight. He is once again stuck in the retail hells. I don't know if it's Asmodeus or Dispater that runs that one, but it's not good. Uh, so, what do you guys recall from last week? You were in the Growlhund estate, and we're searching for you tracked a nimble right to the Growlhund estate.
Yes. And then...
Well, hopefully. We haven't found it yet, but yeah.
True.
Where was I in all this? I don't know.
You we're just gonna say you were quiet.
Okay, cool.
Just like Droomstick tonight. Droomstick's just gonna be quiet tonight.
Quiet.
That's a first.
So yeah, you would track the nimble right to the Growlhund estate and entered the building through the kitchen. After drawing a blank on names all of a sudden today, this is odd. After Rodrigo made friends with the Growlhund's dog and set him loose on some unsuspecting Zentarum in the
Oh yeah.
entry rooms. Then you went upstairs and encountered Ustalfloxen and some of his goons trying to break down the door to the Growlhund's master bedroom, where you know Lady Growlhund was holed up. That started a fight. In the middle of the fight, Rodrigo cast a ensnaring vine spell and tripped a lot of people up with that. And Lord Growlhund made his presence known and ended things with the death of Ustalfloxen on Orin's sword. The City Watch are charging up the steps at the moment. You can hear their boots pounding on the way up. Oliver, are we good on audio?
Yeah, it sounds fine so far.
Okay. And that's where we're going to start right now. So you've got this Ustal's dead. The two other Zentarum who were with him haven't quite surrendered yet, but looking at them, there you can see how their options are diminishing rapidly, and have no desire to fight.
Okay. Well, none of this is really what we were coming here for. We're really just here for the clockwork guy that we need to find, and this is complicating everything.
Typical us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, this time it wasn't our fault. It was here before we got here.
In the scuffle that was there at the end, Orin had mentioned to Ustal right before he killed him that the stone wasn't here.
Okay.
I've heard references to this stone a handful of times since the beginning of this chain of events.
Well, I guess we really have no choice but to present ourselves to Orin Growlhund here and/or the guards, since we're caught in between them. So I put my weapon away when the guards came in, and I realized that the fighting was pretty much done.
Yes.
So I'm gonna look. I'm just gonna quietly, as best I can, take a bow in front of Growlhund and announce, my lord, apologies for trespassing. We were just here to help.
No.
Oren looks like he's had a really rough time. His clothes are torn. He doesn't have any kind of armor on. The only weapon he's got is the rapier in his hand. Not even wearing shoes.
Oh, this poor man.
Yeah.
Get this man some shoes.
And he looks at your greeting here in the middle of all this chaos. And says the city watch will be here in moments. Just follow my lead and everything will work out fine.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
explain later.
Okay. All right.
Well, he's the boss. I guess it's his house.
Don't want to piss him off.
Wow, I am large on that camera right now.
Yeah.
They're all a little bit zoomed in.
Yeah, I
from-
don't know what happened. As I'm the only one who's like not that bad. I'm also sitting pretty far away.
Yeah, it makes me want to back up from the screen just to be less large.
Mhm.
So, yeah, at that point, that's when the watch arrive on the second floor, and you recognize the two watchmen who are at the in charge of things. It is Barnabas Blastwind and Saith Cromlin, the two watchmen who were involved with the fireball incident the day before.
Good.
nice.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, at least this time our Minotaur will be forced to be quiet.
And they take in the scene. They look at Warren specifically, and then directly to Oren Growlhund. As my lord, what has happened here? And Oren, Lord Growlhund, looks at he kind of gathers himself together and tries to present him as regally as possible for his state. And excuse me for a minute. I have to check on my wife. He turns and unlocks the door that Ustel was trying to break into. On the other side of that door, you have Lady Growlhund and their half-orc manservant, looks like he's ready to smash something with a fantastically oversized Morningstar. Not the sort of weapon that belongs, was intended to be used inside buildings,
Mhm.
but he's here ready to make do. And Lord and Lady Growlhund embrace for a moment in relief. Now she's dressed in her finery, wearing a breastplate that was hastily donned over her dress, and has armed herself with a rapier. Warren, give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception check. That is an 8.
Okay.
I'm starting out slow today, but that's okay.
Yeah. You can hear that Lord and Lady Growlhund have a brief interchange of comments. Can't hear what they're whispering to each other. And Lord Growlhund returns with his wife in hand, and Thank you, Sergeant. We had intruders in our home who had kidnapped us, and were holding us hostage for the last week.
Sweet.
Yeah. Now, the two Zentarum who are standing there have dropped their weapon. They have given up and are cornered. They have nowhere to go. There's the four of you. There's Drumstick, Lord and Lady Growlhund, and several of the city watch here. They're not trying those on.
I'm
They're not
taking
s-
credit for their surrender, even if it wasn't my speech that did it. I still ask.
Oh my god.
Finally, somebody surrendered.
Um, yeah. Now, Lord Growlhund is trying to control the narrative here, and we were held hostage by this man, and he points to Ustel's body on the floor, covered in burn marks, for the last week. He was holding us hostage, trying to ransom money from our family outside of town. And Saith, now he's the tall, skinny one of the two guards. We were tracking him from a several series of murders that happened on the street on Troll Skull Alley yesterday afternoon. He was there and was at the center of an explosion. Now, you guys have taken in quite a bit of this. How are you reacting in the moment?
I would actually like to make an insight roll on Lord Growlhund's story. If I can
Okay.
figure out how much he's being truthful and how much he's just feeding the guards a line.
Mhm.
So, 11 plus 7, so 18.
Okay. Give me an investigation check as well.
Investigation. That one is 14.
With what you've seen on the way in here, you're kind of piecing things together right now. It looks like the Zentarum had been occupying this home for a while, upwards of a week. And at some point in the last couple of days, things had changed. It went from a welcome occupation to a hostile occupation. It does look like Lord Growlhund has been held captive. He was, you can see he's got marks around his wrists where he's been tied up. We'll explain his dress, the state of his dress. So there's a lot of plausibility to his story. But, he's either dancing around a topic or avoiding something completely.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna wait patiently and see how the guards are gonna react to this, because I'd like to talk to Growlhund, but probably not in front of the guards unless I have to.
So is it meant not that long ago, within the last then these people here, these adventurers, came to our rescue. They must have heard me struggling to escape my captor from the street and came in to assist. I appreciate their heroism in assisting us in our time of need. Now, that doesn't square with the story you've been what you experience. You can tell that those are blatant lies. Barnabas and Saith, they're not questioning too much. That's questioning a noble at their word is not something I'm prepared to do right now. So, well, we will need statements from everyone. And
I'm as humbly as I can. I will bow my head and I'll say we would certainly be happy to assist the guard in any way that we possibly can. We were actually on some urgent business of our own while we were on the way here. And we would beg your leave for just a moment to discuss it with the Lord, if it would not get in the way of the investigation.
roll persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh, 18 plus 2, so 20.
Nice.
Well, yes. That I see no reason to interfere. We have a lot to do. We'll begin our interrogation with the two Zentarum, and they're taken downstairs to be interrogated there, leaving you, Lord and Lady Grauhund, and some of the watchmen stick around as well. So you're not entirely alone, but they're not eavesdropping intentionally.
Right. All right. Well, I'm going to turn to the Lord, and I'm just going to start the conversation by saying, my good sir, I am very sorry for whatever has happened to you here today in your own home.
I appreciate your assistance, and more than that, I appreciate your discretion.
Yes, on that matter, actually, it was not complete happenstance that we've ended here. Now, sir, we don't mean you any disrespect or ill will at all. However, we are here on business for the Temple of Gond. If that rings any bells to you.
You will need to be more.
All right, I'm gonna just step a little bit closer to her and him and try to lower my voice a little bit and just say, we have reason to believe that there is somebody or something in your house that we need to retrieve.
He leans in. Need to need you.
You
It
cut
was
out
so quiet it didn't come through.
completely, Yeah.
I thought he
My
was
whispering probably just didn't trigger voice to talk. Yeah, I'm going to need you to be more specific.
All right. I'm going to sigh and just say, all right. The Temple of Gond is missing a clockwork man. And the trail has led us directly to your home. And we need, if you do not know where it is, I'm afraid we are going to need to search for it.
Are you able to track this clockwork man?
To a certain degree. I don't know how well the tracker is going to work now that we're in the house, but we can try it.
Give me an insight check. Anyone who's watching closely enough can do the insight check.
Okay. 15.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna give it a
What
shot.
is that?
Yeah, it's skill check. D20 plus your insight skill.
I also rolled a 15.
19.
Oh, Jesus.
Lestara?
I didn't roll yet. Oh, that wasn't good. Okay. Mine is a 3.
Okay.
You don't know what the fuck's going on.
I'm cool.
I also just want to say
Yeah, so-
Discord is lagging a little bit.
Yes, it's lagging hard.
As long as the audio's okay, we're alright.
Yeah, the cameras are going up and down. We're gonna just play through it.
Yeah, the audio's still fine. So
When he considers the possibility of this nimble right being tracked, he looks concerned. But yes,
He had something.
I'm going to, when I see that look, I'm going to add in, if we can't handle this business now, the temple is not going to let it go.
he looks over at his wife, and Lady Growhunt speaks for the first time. I sent the nimble right away minutes ago.
Away as in out of the house?
Yeah,
Hmm. Where is it headed?
that is none of your.
Oh,
Girl,
Excuse
it is
me.
now.
and here it's on
It may not be any of our business, but it is the business of the Temple of Gond, and therefore it is the business of the city. And I promise you, if this is dragged out, it will not be good for anyone, least of all you. And you've been through enough. We are only trying to help.
I will not tolerate your attempt to intimidate me in my own home. I have been through quite enough.
I'm going to stop and think for a moment. And then I'm going to ask, did you give the Nimblewright anything when you sent him away?
I don't have to answer anything. You're not part of the law.
And that may be to your benefit at this point.
Explain how this could benefit.
Whatever you pass that Nimblewright, you clearly don't want to fall into the hands of the guards. Or the Zentarum. We are neither. If it's not handled now, the city will find it.
I'm willing to accept it.
Alright, well, then I guess we'll just have to find it the hard way.
We could just as easily have said you were part of the Zentarum kidnapping. You can.
I don't feel the need to convince you two anymore. We've done our part here. We've helped you. We mean you no harm. We don't need your cooperation to find it. So if you don't want to cooperate, that's fine. We're not going to get in your business, but as soon as we're done here, we are going to go find it.
She doesn't have anything else to say.
Well,
Lord Growhunt does look a little bit more worried about this. I'm sure we can reach some sort of agreement. I'll admit, and he kind of looks over at his wife to see if she's going to contradict him. I am not pleased with my wife's newest. I can. I don't feel any need to protect it.
I mean, we don't mean it any harm. This is for its own good as well. So, if that is her concern, we're not going to take it apart or anything like that.
It seems to come and go as it pleases. It may return.
I see. And you don't have any idea where it may be headed right now. We will find it regardless, but the faster we do it, the better for everyone.
It listens to my wife, not to me. You can hear boots on the steps. Barnabas Blastwind is returning. They're not cooperating. Refused to give a statement. They've been arrested. They'll be put up in front of a magistrate within the hour, and they won't see the outside of Castle Waterdeep for a very long time. But something here doesn't add up. This man, he points to the Oostel's body on the floor, was participating in a crime near here yesterday while you were being held here. I need to know what he was doing. Now, Lord Growlhund going to steps forward. This man entered our home a few days ago, and he gives a date. It's about a 10-day ago, and was holding myself and my wife hostage. He's kept asking us for ransom money. We did not have readily available. So he was trying to get it elsewhere. Get it from our family. Now, I believe when he came back yesterday, he was burned horribly. And that was when he started to beat me for more information. Takes you over, he leads you over to the room he came out of, and you can see that there's a chair there. He was, with all the things were tied up. The 2 dead Zentarum on the floor. Looks like he recently escaped. And I believe that's the simple truth of it is he was trying to extort money from anyone who would pay for it.
I'm going to politely step forward and address the guard captain here. And say, sir, if you'd like, perhaps you can take our statements downstairs now. We might be able to help a little bit.
Yes, that would be appropriate. Now, you do get a look from Lord Growlhund on the way down that sort of implies a threat if something, if you have a different story. At the moment, you're the heroes of this, and they've set you up to take the credit for their risk.
I just want to say also, when we're going down the stairs, I'm just going to wave and be like, I love your dog. And then just keep going.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Downstairs, it's a mess. That there are 2 more dead Zentarum than when you were last down here. And they have been ripped apart. The dog
Good boy.
is nowhere to be seen at the moment.
Okay, so when we're downstairs with the guards here, I'm going to address what's his face,
Barnabas.
Barnabas Blastwind, and I'm going to tell him, the truth is we're not intending to get involved in any of this. We believe it may be as the Lord Growlhund says. However, we do believe that the intruders were potentially looking for someone else who has now fled the scene. I don't know if the Growlhunds were aware that he was harboring in their mansion, but it's certainly a possibility that they were not aware of his presence. However, he has now absconded, and it would be extremely helpful to both of us, I believe, if we could get on his trail right now before he gets too far away.
Who is this person you're referring to?
The person that we are referring to is a member of the Temple of Gond, and we have been sent here on their behalf. That is as much information as we are able to give you at this point. I'm sure the temple itself would be happy to fill you in after we bring this person back to them.
So you're saying there was another party involved here, and they've fled?
We have strong reason to believe so. We were tracking this individual when we happened upon the carnage here.
What is their connection to the Growlhund?
When we were sent here, we were not aware of any connection to the Growlhunds. We were simply following the trail. That's all that I know so far. If we find them, perhaps we can get some better answers.
I believe it's more than a coincidence that you were both here and at the explosion yesterday.
That would be true. The person that we are seeking right now was also seen in the vicinity of that explosion.
And I caution you that you're treading very closely to impeding an official investigation.
We are not impeding at all. We are actually attempting to aid it. This is information that we have largely come on as we came on the scene here today. This is not something we were withholding.
You're tracking a witness of a crime here.
Yes.
Who? I need a name. Or at the very minimum, a description.
It is not a person, it is a construct.
Man on the rooftop.
Some sort of Temple of Gond creation.
He's our primary suspect.
And we have the means to track him down right now.
Now, he puffs himself up. You need to tell us everything you know immediately, or I'll have you in a cell next to those Zentarum thugs by the end of the night.
I mean, I've just told you everything that we know.
How did you track him here?
We were given this, and I don't know who's holding the nimble right detector right now, but whoever has it, I'll grab it. And we were given this by the Temple of Gond. It's their property. It can lead us directly to him. Well, mostly directly to him. Whatever it is.
How does it work?
Um,
It spins.
yeah, that's pretty much. I don't know. We're not engineers, unfortunately, but I'll display for him. Turn the crank or whatever the heck we do with it.
Mhm. And you use this. He asks a couple of additional questions to figure out how it's working and how you track it. So use this device to narrow down the location of the suspect here.
That's
and
correct.
he turns the handle and nothing happened. So
And
how do you...
it was activated when he was in the vicinity. That's how we believe that he has now fled the scene, escaping whatever these Zentarm were trying to do to it. Therefore, we need to get in pursuit right away.
You keep saying you need to. You're trying to do the work of the guard. Watch.
You're welcome to come with us.
I don't think you understand the gravity of this problem. You have no authority here.
I'm not sure you understand the gravity of the problem. We're not trying to get in your way. This is a matter of the Temple of Gond, and if it's not dealt with, this is going to go all the way to the Lords. If you really need more information, you can escort us to the temple, but that will allow the suspect to escape. I'm going to take him. I'm just going to step in a little bit more casually, and I'm going to suggest to him there are treaties in place the city has with other powers, and this suspect is intricately linked with those treaties. This is a little bit beyond street criminals.
Give me a persuasion.
All right, I get 18 plus 2, so 20 again.
I need my suspect in custody. Quick pause. And I can use this. And he holds up the nimble rate detector. Find him. And he turns the handle again. This time it pings.
I'm just gonna nod it and be like, he's clearly in the area. We need to move now. If you take that Nimblewright into custody, the Temple of Gond is going to be all over you. If we work together, we can do this faster than just you and your guards. You have a huge mess to deal with here. There's dead bodies everywhere. We don't need to be enemies. We can cooperate. Sir.
At that point, there's commotion at the door behind you. The Nimblewright walks in.
Oh,
That was
Well,
easy.
hello.
That was too
Nice of you
easy.
to join us.
He's holding a piece of paper in his hand. And the Nimblewright kind of does one of these head spins to view the room. And looks up the stairs at Lady Growlhund, who's on her way down right.
Your mic cut out.
She says, "You fool, you came back." that point, I think we should probably roll initiative because the guards are going to go and apprehend this guy
What?
immediately.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I got a 3.
Did you add your
got-
initiative bonus?
Yeah.
I have
I got a
6.
10.
6, boy. I really want cake.
I have cake.
Why'd you bring me cake? What kind of cake?
Well, we have alcohol cupcakes and chocolate brownie cake.
Oh my
They're really
god,
good.
why am I not there? Oh, I got a 13.
Okay.
Sorry.
Got distracted by cake.
Yeah, like, damn.
Oliver,
Alcohol.
Yes. I got a 10.
10.
Shit.
Blaze,
6.
Ostara,
13.
Rodrigo,
3.
okay. Barnabas is the first to act. And his first action is to cast a protective spell around himself. He casts mage armor on himself.
Not pussy.
Seems like a reflexive reaction to him being in a combat situation.
Interesting.
Listara.
Yep.
You're the next to act.
I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. If there's gonna be fighting, I don't think we should be the ones that started. So
It's probably a bad life choice.
Yeah. Here's what you know, the quickest rundown of what you know, because I remember you weren't here for the last session. The group came here looking for the Nimblewright.
Yep.
The Nimblewright left here on a task by Lady Growlhund
Mhm.
and has returned.
Okay.
Now, maybe at most an hour has passed since the Nimblewright left to when it's returned. The Nimblewright's holding a piece of paper in his hand. He also has a rapier at his hip.
Oh, okay, so I can't take the piece of paper.
If you'd like to take the piece of paper, I want to know how.
I
Just
thought-
swipe
we
it.
we don't want to beat it up unless it's like absolutely necessary, because we would prefer to bring it back to the temple in one piece if we can.
Yeah. Now you've got a lot of options on your, available to you. I just want to know what you'd like to do.
Well, that other guy's clearly taking the defensive route, and I don't want to start a fight if it's not necessary. Can the Nimblewright speak?
No, it's not capable of speech.
We were told that it could understand speech, but that it spoke whatever weird language those automatons spoke.
It uses a combination of sign language and a couple of clicks and whirs.
Oh, okay. So can I extend my hand and ask the Nimblewright for the piece of paper? So I can attack it. It won't like it.
Sure. So you're going to approach the Nimblewright and just ask it for the piece of paper?
Bitch gonna get shanked.
I don't want it.
Sure.
Like from a good distance away.
Yeah.
Really next to it.
I mean, asking politely like that, I believe that give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion check. Okay, go.
Could you
20.
imagine if you crit 20'd on that? Oh.
No. That'd be. But no, I got a 20.
You got a 20. Dirty 20.
30.
The Nimrod just kind of cocks his head to the side, hands, holds out the slip of paper. At the top of the stairs, Lady Growlhund is about ready to have a seizure. She's not pleased about this turn of events. When you unfold the piece of paper, take a look at it. It says Castellanner Crypt, City of the Dead, and it has what's the equivalent of an address in the City of the Dead.
Interesting.
It's the location of a crypt.
Mm.
Now, Barnabas is like reaching out for the note. He's like, I'll take that. It's evidence.
They're like, no, I worked very hard for this.
Anyone have a spare piece of paper they can just like slip him? Like, this is it.
Warren, you get to act next.
Just slide a hand.
I mean, I was considering trying some sleight of hand here. I don't know if I have just a random slip of paper on me that I could.
I do. I mean, I
So,
can almost guarantee you I have probably a random slip of paper. My
I know
random bag of
one
random.
piece of paper you'd likely have. You've been handed about 3 copies of the Code Legal. From,
Yes!
right now.
hold on. Okay, so. Okay, so can I, if she is going to try to slip this this piece of paper, I'm going to step up just towards everyone where they're gathered with my hands up. I'm going to step in between Lestara and Barnabas as if I'm addressing the Nimblewright. And I'm going to talk to the Nimblewright. And I'm just going to go, hello. You don't know me. We've been sent by your friend Nim. He's the thing that built you. He's very worried about you. And what I'm actually doing is I'm taking a help action on Blazing Fire to help her with her sleight of hand if she gets a chance.
Oh, you're gonna make me do it.
Okay, so you want to provide a distraction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I am also trying to talk to the Nimblewright and get it to not cause a scene.
Okay.
Doing a twofer.
So yeah, so you grab the Nimblewright's attention. Blaze, you are up next. What would you like to do?
I couldn't do these both in the same turn, could I? I was gonna say, would it be possible for me to cast an illusion on the piece of paper and do the sleight of hand at the same time? Or would that require 2 turns?
That's 2 full actions.
Damn!
Yeah.
Even if we could get an illusion on the paper, if the guards got it, eventually the illusion would run
Yeah.
off. So
Now-
we don't want it to get into their hands.
I do think it's plausible that you would have some type of paper on you.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to try to swap pieces of paper with something you've already got, sure.
Well, I was just, because of course the guard's gonna look at it. I mean, I guess he hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, the only one who's gotten a good look at it's Lestara.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
And
Alright.
when I was approaching the Nimblewright, I stepped in between the guard and Lestara just for a
Right.
moment.
Yeah. Right now, everyone in the room, their eyes are on Warren and the Nimblewright.
Alright, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna grab one of my pieces of paper, fold it, and go to sleight of hand Lestara.
Sure. Give me that sleight of hand check.
And that should be with advantage because I took the help action.
Yes.
I rolled a nat 20.
Nice. Okay.
You were just a natural born pickpocket, I guess.
I
You
guess
always
I
so
should have
funny when
been
you
the-
stole my wallet.
Holy
Yeah, and
shit.
Lestar, you're looking at it, and you're like, the address. You're like, yeah, kind of know where that's at. And the next thing you know, you're reading out is arson, theft, or hard labor up to 1 year, with fines or damages covering the cost of repairs, plus 2,000 gold pieces.
And I'm like, roll out again.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna like put the slip of paper in my
Yeah, you just
back.
can pocket it.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Rodrigo, what would you like to do here?
I mean, I'm just gonna like raise my hand and be like, does anyone know where the dog went, or are we just gonna ignore that?
Is he still attached to that guy's throat?
I mean, I don't know if he's still murderous, but we want to keep an eye out for that. Other than that, I'm just gonna stand there and I see what they're doing, so I'm just gonna be quiet.
Yeah, your concern for the dog adds greatly to the distraction with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Because it was absolutely the last thing anyone was thinking about. The next few moments are a bit tense. The guard have no problem subduing Nim, the nimble ray. I keep wanting to call him the wrong nimble ray. And they kind of put hands on him and push him to the ground before he can even get his weapon drawn. Lady Growhund is screaming and ranting right now. But it seems like she's just more mad that the Nimblewright is here than what they're doing to it in the moment. She doesn't seem to care about it that much.
Rude.
Now, Barnabas turns over to Warren. You said this was property of the Church of Gond?
Yes, sir. They are waiting for its return immediately.
Okay. Well, I'm pleased I don't need to arrest you for obstruction tonight. And then he reaches over and he plucks the piece of paper out of Lestara's hand and flips it over and sees what it is, and he's confused.
I'm gonna peek over his shoulder and I'm just gonna shrug and say, "Who understands what these constructs do?"
So wait, nobody but me knows I stole the and Lestara, I guess, probably realizes something weird just fucking happened.
Well, yeah. Well,
Well, I mean, I kind of realized I was giving you,
yeah.
so.
We're going to return this to the Temple of Gond, where we can get our questions answered and discharge this crime from the books. I believe technically, since the construct created the fireball, I don't know if an object can be held accountable for a crime. This would be an excellent question for the magistrate.
We don't understand it either.
Lady Growlhund's continuing to rant, but it's almost like she wants to be ranting about one thing, but can't because there's too many people around. And soon after that, you're no longer welcome in the Growlhund home. And after the last bits of your statement are cleaned up, you're escorted out to the street. On the way out, you see that the dog is leashed and being held by a member of the Growlhund staff. He's wearing a filthy leather jacket, kind of like it's almost like a leather creeper jacket, but he's the Growlhund's hound master, and he's given the dog a whole bunch of good boys.
He deserves it. He did a good job.
He did MVP.
Please just run up to the dog and pet the dog.
Is he still mean though? Like,
Well,
I'll give him a wave and be like, "You a good boy. Proud of you."
yeah. Shortly after that, you guys find yourself on the street, in possession of the note that the Nimblewright had in his hand.
I'm gonna suggest we go back home at the moment.
I'm gonna suggest we go immediately to this address. Whatever
Okay.
the Zentarum were in there for, the lady passed to the Nimblewright, and he's probably hidden at this location.
Now, the location that's there is the Castle Lantern Crypt. I'd like Warren and Lestara to give me history checks.
Okay.
Okay.
22. I am proficient in history.
Waiting for
17.
Lestara. What was that?
17.
Okay. The Castellaners are one of the major noble families of Water. And as such, you can expect their crypt would be a large mausoleum type affair. The City of the Dead is a large park-like cemetery where the city of Waterdeep has been burying its dead for hundreds of years. At this time of night, there's an unexplainable magic effect that happens in Waterdeep, where as the sun goes down, hundreds of drift globe, floating lanterns, float out of the city and light up the City of the Dead. And then at dawn, they return to the city. Nobody knows why or how. It's just a thing that's been happening for so long, it's become normal for Waterdeep.
Okay.
Now, the City of the Dead is open to the public during the day. At night, it is sealed and generally patrolled by clerics of Kelemvor, God of the Dead.
What time is it now?
Night fell about an hour ago.
I suggest we go home.
We can go home and
I was gonna
I
suggest
guess-
we go home and talk about what we're gonna do, so we're not
Well-
still right in front of the estate when we talk
yeah,
about this.
we should we can talk to the see if the orphans are back at the very least.
We can get some
'Cause-
food.
The last place that the orphans were leaving to when we were heading out was the whatever it's called, City of the Dead.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're back by now.
We can
See what
take a
they-
short
maybe-
rest
yeah.
and
Maybe they know a little bit about the area that we're heading into.
Sure. Yeah, you're not far from home. The Growlhund Villa is a brisk 5-minute walk from Trollskull Manor. So you're home quickly. The kids are there. They spent the day in the City of the Dead, but they were just basically running in the only, the biggest open area around where no one's going to chase them off. They just wanted a big area to play in. And they tell you a great story about some dragon they slew, and the adventure story goes on and on and on. And it seems like they're embellishing it as they go. But you have returned home. You've got a closed door behind you in privacy, so you can freely discuss what you'd like to do next. And click that button for short rest.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone else of even got injured, but I guess the spells. I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember hit points, but
Um. Okay. Well, do we have any idea where in the City of the Dead this castle and a crypt is?
yes, the note has a location.
Is it? I mean, is it deep into it, or is it just on the outskirts, or?
Um, it's in a prominent location. Um, do you think you spent much time there?
Probably not. I don't know if Warren would really be palling around in a graveyard.
Well, it's not like a graveyard. It's more like a modern style cemetery where it's manicured lawns and open areas, benches. Like people picnic there during the day.
Yeah, not really a place for drinking wine and playing dice, probably. So.
Okay. So no, you're not that familiar with its exact location, but it does have kind of a similar set of streets and avenues, kind of like the rest of the city. Obviously, there's no residences there, but you can place the location as on the southern side. Um, from the nearest gate, it's maybe half a mile.
So if we wait until it's daytime, like, is it customary to just wander into someone's crypt, or are we going to be breaking into it regardless?
Walking through the City of the Dead, no problem at all. Entering the crypt, illegal.
Not the first illegal thing we've done. We did just break in and enter.
No. You know, but there's I believe there was a line for it here in the code legal. I'm pretty sure it's here. I don't see it right now. Oh, tomb robbing. Imprisonment up to a 10-day and damages covering the cost of repairs plus 500 gold pieces.
Oh, only 10 days?
Okay, yeah, so we don't cause a lot of damage when we break in. We won't have to worry about it.
Now, of course, that only covers you if you get caught.
Yeah. Well, presumably the only one who knows that the thing is in there is the Nimblewright that hid it, because nobody else has seen the message that we're aware of.
Except whoever wrote it.
Oh, can the Nimblewright not write? Did he not write it?
It's in a pretty like script style of writing, and it doesn't really look like how you would expect a Nimblewright to write.
I mean, considering our lovely Lady Growlhund was the one who sent him away, I was kind of figuring it was probably her.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even consider that.
That would be my assumption.
If we think that the Growlhunds are gonna go for it, we should probably try to beat them to it. I mean, how tightly is it patrolled by these priests?
It's a large area, and the Church of Kelmvor is. They take their duty seriously, but you're sure there's a way to get around it. There's a chance you'd get spotted by a patrol at night, and their patrolling is a lot to do with the safety of the city. There's crypts. Things in crypts sometimes come out of the crypts.
Necromancy.
Yeah. Necromancy is a major crime, and the Church of Kelmvor really doesn't like undead. The dead should stay dead where they belong. Great God, if you ever want to check out Wiki entry.
Okay, so if we're gonna go for this crypt, we're gonna be breaking into it regardless.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna be breaking into a crypt, maybe it's easier to break in at night. We just have to avoid all the priests walking around, I guess.
Who doesn't have stealth?
I think the only well, Lestara's a +4 on stealth. She's not trained in it.
I'm a +1 in stealth, so.
You can turn into an animal, though.
You right. You right.
You have the best cover.
I forgot.
And I'm stealthy and can be invisible.
Ooh, look at you go.
Yeah. I'm actually the weakest at stealth.
Alright, so we make Warren invisible and the rest of us stealth.
Can we do that?
Yeah, it's
Can
just
you-
by touch. Let me
Oh.
double check, but I'm like 90% sure.
So you did take some level 2 spells.
Where the fuck is it?
Did you take the invisibility spell when you leveled up?
I had it last time.
Yeah, she's had it. That's how she got into the mansion. She went in there invisible.
Okay, because it's not on your character sheet right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember you casting that before, so
Yeah.
that's just we'll credit that to a character sheet glitch.
That's weird. Maybe because when I was picking new spells, something weird happened and it deselected a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
So
sure,
maybe that was
I'll buy
it.
that. We'll fix that later, but
Yeah.
yeah, you still have the invisibility spell.
Yeah.
And yes, you can cast that on someone else.
Okay. So I think if we're going to be breaking into the crypt, we might as well not waste any time.
True that, I guess.
Okay.
We can leave the Minotaur at home to babysit the kids because he's too big to sneak.
Yeah.
He's a little winded after his run the length of Waterdeep.
In about 7 seconds or whatever
After
it
it
was.
took him like 20 minutes to realize what was going on when he was on
Yeah.
the trolley.
So yeah, Droomstick will sit this out for the moment, or follow quietly, whatever makes sense for the next time he returns.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to go out right now. Is there anything you want to grab or do before you head off to the City of the Dead?
I'm just gonna grab some grapes.
Alright.
I'll munch them on the way though. So.
If we've got any like cloaks or anything clandestine to wear while we're out there, I guess we should probably do that. Otherwise,
Yeah, a quick wardrobe change into stealth mode.
yeah.
What animal is stealthy that I can?
Fox?
I mean, you could probably just turn into a cat and you wouldn't be that
Yeah.
weird to be found in a graveyard.
You so right. Right.
The only thing I'll point out there is you have a limited number of times you can shift per day.
Oh. Oh yeah, because I already did the rat. So can I not do the cat right now?
Oh no, I'm gonna you have whatever your total allotment is for the day.
Because we just took a rest. Is it
Well,
reset on
no,
a short rest or a long rest?
They reset on a long rest. Yeah, you might not have that ability available to you right now. Do you know how many times you can shift per day?
Where would that say?
Features and traits, I believe.
Come on, mouse.
I don't druid very often, so I don't know that ability.
Twice per short rest.
Oh, they recharge on a short rest. There you go.
Oh, okay.
We got you.
Alright. I'm a cat now.
Well,
Wait till we get there.
Alright, fine.
Okay. So yeah, you swap into clandestine clothing wear,
Dun, dun, dun.
and all of the gates to the City of the Dead are closed and watched at night. So you're gonna have to go over a wall somewhere. Where would you like to try that at?
If we have a way to determine that, I assume we're going to look for whatever wall is closest to this crypt.
Yeah, you said it was towards the south end.
Okay. But you're not looking for like any special place to try to jump over.
I don't.
Just geographically the closest.
Yeah, and that's not watched and is low enough for us to attempt it, I guess.
Okay. Blaze.
Hi.
You've got the best sense of sneakiness in the group.
Yes.
So I'd like you to make a stealth check to find a good window of time where no one's watching.
Sorry, the light reflected on my dice.
What is my thing? +5. 18? 18.
Okay. You find an area that's kind of between a pair of buildings that doesn't get... You've got a little bit of privacy to make your attempt over the wall. Now, the wall's about 15 foot high.
Oh, yay. That's probably not too big of a problem for me.
We've got rope. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
plenty of rope to go around.
Trying to think of the best way that I don't know anything about climbing with rope. So I'm just trying to think of the best way that would work.
Don't you actually have a climb speed yourself?
I do. I was thinking about them because my original thought is that I'll go up the wall with one end of the rope and secure it so they can all.
Well, yeah, you could secure it and then we could just like, climb up.
That's what I'm gonna do. Do you
Okay.
need me to roll anything for that?
No.
Okay.
You actually have a climb. Yeah, since you actually have a climb speed, you can climb 20 feet without making any dice rolls.
Good.
As long as, assuming it's a normally climbable surface.
Yeah.
If you're trying to climb a glass wall, that's a die roll.
I have a 50-foot rope. Ooh.
Yeah. Now, you can climb up and over and secure the rope, no problem. But I would like a athletics check from the other three.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Don't
With the
poke me
rope,
first.
it's an easy roll.
Athletics?
Yes.
I
Great.
got a 4.
That's a -1.
Okay, so we got a 4.
I got a 6.
Oh my god!
I mean, I can float though, so
I have a 1.
Wow.
Guys!
I'm not.
So, Warren, you start climbing up this rope, and you
Drunk.
get right there to the top, and you're about ready to plant your hand on the top of the wall when Lestara starts climbing up behind you and pulls, with both of your weights on the rope, it's not tied securely enough, so it slips.
Definitely blazing.
Can I try and catch the rope?
Well,
If nothing more than to make sure they don't make a loud thud on the other side of the wall.
Lestara takes 3 points of damage as she hits the ground.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Warren, I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Guys, come on.
15.
tried my
15.
best.
Okay. So you're when you slip and fall, you're able to roll and prevent yourself from taking any damage or landing on Lestara.
And causing more damage.
Yeah.
Oh.
So on your second attempt, you've got a lot more organization involved. So you're gonna make it over on the second attempt. Waste a little bit of time, burned a little bit of pride, but you're over the wall.
Guys.
Well, that was easy.
slow clap all around.
Okay, step 1 is complete. Going good so far.
Complete.
Okay.
Oh
Now,
my god. This
this
is
is
going
the first
wonderfully.
Yeah, this is the first time any of you have really seen the City of the Dead at dark. And it is kind of a surreal thing with all these drift globes. They seem to like float along different pathways. Almost, some of them pair up and it kind of looks like a ghostly procession, but they are just floating orbs of light. There's no malicious undeadness to them at all. They are just interesting lights.
So I can't detect any weird magic.
Oh, they're definitely magical.
Well, yes.
And give me an Arcana check.
You know, I actually think that I boosted my thing in that.
You did.
So I think I have a +1 now instead of a -1. 3.
Okay.
That was my short roll
Yeah.
for this.
You have never seen anything like this magical effect and have no context for how it works.
Wait. So they're like all around us, right?
There's hundreds of them throughout the city.
I am gonna have to poke one. Just
What?
gonna have to poke a light. I'm gonna have to try and do the cat thing.
Cat and a laser pointer.
Momentary
Yeah.
distraction.
Yeah, like the other three of them. I don't know how long you watch that. Like it's mesmerizing how focused she gets on it.
That's a cat thing.
Yeah. 5 or 6 minutes pass before she shakes herself out of it.
Well, none of you stopped me.
I thought they were pretty too. So.
Alright.
Well, we're off to
Now-
a great start.
Yes.
Hey,
So,
I'm not the one who fucked up on the wall.
You didn't tie the rope securely enough. Been tied securely, it could have handled one human and one elf.
I'm just gonna
What's
turn
elf
into a cat now.
Come on, elf has got to weigh like 50 pounds at best.
Well, then clearly you're the one who weighs a lot.
Oh,
so what's your okay? Rodrigo just cats out.
Meow, bitch.
What do you look like as a cat?
and a cat.
I feel
A
like
lot
this
of
is a
cats.
valid question.
No, it's a very valid question.
Oh gosh.
Are you just like a black cat? Or are you a striped cat? Or are you an orange cat? Or are you a blue cat?
I'll do
Are you
a
naked
black cat with like electric blue swirls in my fur.
So you just look fucking magic.
Hell yeah, I do.
Great.
Good. I'm sure that won't
All cats from the
pull
planet
any
Death Play, right?
attention.
Yeah. You know.
Okay. So yeah, black cat with blue swirls in its hair.
Alright.
Okay. The other three,
Mhm.
when you try, you as you pass, you can see one of the patrols. And you duck into a bush and hide out as the patrol passes. I'd like stealth checks from the three of you who are not
A
actual
cat?
cats at the moment.
Ooh. 21.
Wow, nice.
Okay.
16.
22.
Okay. Vanishing into this bush, easy. It's almost like it was planted here specifically for hiding it. The patrol passes no more than 20 feet away from where you're at. 3 people in the patrol. There's a male cleric who has carrying a shield. On the shield, there's a skeletal hand holding balance scales. which is the holy symbol of Kalimvor. The other two are there's a woman and a dwarven male, who are wearing heavier armor. Maces with big spiky bits on them hang from their hips. And they're kind of talking casually as they walk past. Once they're out of earshot, you can move and make it to the crypt. Castellanor crypt is 20-foot tall marble crypt. Oak tree planted out front. And it's a very well maintained building. And I would like perception check from everyone involved.
Okay.
11.
Natural 1 for me.
Huh.
You don't know what the fuck's going on. Where are you?
I was great at stealth, but apparently not in my perception. I'm not even trained in stealth.
20.
Lestara?
Oh, 22.
Okay. Lestara and Rodrigo. You can see that the door here has been opened recently. It's a mark
yeah.
in the dirt where it's been scratched. And then above that door, in large blocky letters, is the name Castle.
Alright, I suppose we should try and make our way inside.
What kind of door handle is it?
It's a stone door.
Stone.
And in the center of the door, there's a large, almost oversized lock.
So it's still locked,
Yes,
but it was opened recently.
it was opened recently.
Can anybody lockpick?
Ooh, can I use a mage hand to unlock the door?
Mage hand doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah, I don't think
unless
you
you're
can
a very
shove the
specific
mage
kind of
hand
rogue.
in and.
Yeah.
There's a rogue that
Um,
specializes in that though.
yeah. What actually is a lockpicking check? Is that
That would be a tool check.
That'd be a one.
a what check?
It's a tool proficiency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you're proficient in it.
Yeah. So it's just the dice roll plus 2.
It's dex based, so it would be +5. Your dex plus your proficiency bonus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I get plus 3 from dex. Okay, so plus 5. All right, I'll give it a shot. 9.
9. Your tools are built for regular sized lock. This is a larger, oversized lock, and your tools just aren't heavy enough to move the tumblers inside.
Well, that's a problem.
I know we did it last time. Can I try with my claws again?
Yeah. Do you have the efficiency involved?
I don't think
Don't.
so.
Think so. Okay, so yeah, you can try, but I'm gonna give you disadvantage on the roll.
Would it still be plus dex?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so your total +3.
And it's the lower of the two rolls, right?
Correct.
So 11 plus 3 is 14.
Nah.
Damn.
You can get in there and you can feel some of the pieces and you know which ones you need to move. You just can't reach. Now, if you can find something bigger to work with,
Well, there's a tree right there. So are there any branches on the ground?
any branch thin enough to fit
Isn't
isn't
firm
going to
enough.
be stiff enough to move something.
Okay.
So it would need to be about that, like about a pencil thick, but stiff.
How about my rapier?
That would probably damage the rapier, but yeah, that would work.
Wait,
Could damage the
I
rapier.
have that wand still. Would that
You-
damage the wand from the I don't know if I ever put it in my actual inventory, but from the New Year's game.
Yeah, we did get
yeah,
that one from the
What
statue.
wand was that you got?
Huh?
Some kind of wand of secret detection. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I was
what
gonna
it's
use
called,
it as
but-
a lockpick instead of or gonna give it to Warren to use as a lockpick rather than as an actual wand, though. To use it as an object.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you want to use it as an object. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, that looks like it would fit the bill.
All right.
Warren, do you want to give it a try?
All right. We'll see how this goes.
MacGyver our
Can
way
roll
in.
better than. This time I get a 15. One better than your 14.
And then you hear a click, and you can feel the mechanism open. Now roll a d20 for me,
Who?
Warren.
Me? Natural 20 again.
Okay. The
game's
wand passes
lit.
its saving throw.
I've gotten 2 20s and a 1 so far this session, so I guess they're balancing each other.
So the lock clicks open, and this heavy stone door just moves like 3 inches out.
Okay, well, it's open, and we haven't been caught yet, so let's take a look inside. I'll lead the way. I'm gonna carefully head inside.
I'm gonna follow second.
Sure. Now inside is pitch black.
I can see.
Blaze can see.
I have a lantern, but I haven't lit it yet.
Okay. You gonna light that as you go through?
When I think that we're not gonna draw attention to the light
Okay,
coming
yeah,
out of
yeah,
the
yeah.
door crack, yeah.
Like a lot of lanterns have like a metal hood over them, so you can light the lantern without having a lot of light, and then just decide how much you open up to.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, as long as I'm not, if I'm pointing it away from the door.
Right. Like I said, it's a large mausoleum, so you've got 30 feet between you and the back wall of this, and there are 2 sarcophagi on either side of the entrance.
Hmm.
And on the ground there are 3 bodies. 2 men and a woman. Dressed like-
Corpses, or?
yeah, they're recently dead. I mean, there's blood that's still a little bit shiny in the light. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 9. I'm not rolling well on those.
Hold on. I rolled 2. That's okay.
I got a 23.
23.
I got a 15.
One of the 3, the woman who's kind of in the far back of the mausoleum, breathing very shallow.
Oh. I'm gonna make my way over to her and see what's up.
Okay.
And maybe if I can, is she obviously bleeding?
Yeah. She's definitely bleeding.
I'm gonna attempt to stop the bleeding as well.
Give me a medicine check.
Yes, that is another thing I grabbed.
Mhm.
16.
You're able to stabilize her. So what that means is she's at no risk of dying in the immediate future. And very likely she would wake up in the next hour or so if nothing else happens.
So, do these people have any sort of identifying marks on their clothing, or anything that is going to tell us why they are in this crypt?
The three of them are dressed as regular citizens of Waterdeep. The woman is her clothes have some are of good quality, wealthy dress. One of the men appears to be dressed in a very similar style. The
What? Sorry, keep going.
the third man looks like he's more of a laborer, maybe warehouse work, dock work, something like that.
What kind of wounds do they have?
They have scorch marks. Blaze. Anyone who has Arcana, give me an Arcana check.
Ten.
Yeah.
11.
Looks like they were on the wrong side of a spell battle.
If
Okay.
I cast a healing light on this woman, will she be conscious enough to talk to us? Like, will
Yes,
that?
she would wake up.
Maybe let's just survey the area before we start waking them up and having them scream for the guards or something. They don't know what's going on. So, the crypt is just the mausoleum is just one room here. There's no like stairs leading down or a path anywhere else.
There are stairs leading down. There's a kind of a iron gate over the two stairs, the set of stairs that goes down. That has a thick metal chain wrapped around it with a lock.
And that doesn't look like. Does that look like it was tampered with, like the door, or?
Give me an investigation check.
13 plus 6, so 19.
Now there's some cobwebs hanging on it that make it look like it's been at least months since it's been open.
Okay. So whatever happened, I suppose happened in here.
Yeah, as you look around the rest of the room with that investigation check, you can see signs of a scuffle. The spell battle or whatever it was not a over in an instant type of situation.
Okay. Well,
Do you want me to heal this lady?
you can go for it, I
Alright.
guess.
I'm gonna use one healing light.
Okay.
Do you want me to actually roll for the?
Yes.
Okay. I apparently don't know where my D6 is, so that's a thing. It's a D6, right?
Mhm.
I'm just gonna use one.
Okay.
That way, she, there's a little less. I rolled a 4.
Okay. You can see her eyes flutter open, and that's where we're gonna stop for the week.
Okay. Sad.
Aw.
But okay, that makes sense. Oh, but now we're not gonna be here next week.
Well, yeah. You guys are going to, what was the con you guys are gonna be at?
KatsuCon in Washington, D.C.
Okay. You, Sky, and Nick are going down for that one, right?
Yeah, and then another friend who's not here.
So we won't be gaming here next week. You guys will be off having a different flavor of fun.
Maybe still
But
playing playing some D&D. I guess they have D&D tables at the con. I'm
Yeah.
super interested.
That was when me and Nick spent a lot of our time with.
Okay.
That's what me and Nick spent a lot of our time doing at PAX Unplugged, was just jumping in on Adventures League D&D games. They're a blast because you just jump in with a random group. The adventures are all kind of like quick, get right into it and get something done sort of things. It's a really good format for things. I'm looking forward to it at PAX East.
Oh yeah, I'll have to do some at PAX East too. I'm going
Yeah.
Saturday, I think.
well, more on that in a minute. But so yeah, that's where we're gonna end. Our next game will be on the 25th. Is when we'll play again.
Yeah.
And we will have a guest joining us on the 25th.
Cool.
I'll
Cool.
introduce one of my friends who I've been playing with for several editions of D&D. Until then, you can track me down at Evil Sales Ass. I will be complaining about work or D&D or whatever. You know where to find me. Sky, we're going to pass it off to you next.
Hey, follow me on Twitter at FizzleWhizzle. Just complaining about everything. As of right now.
Yeah.
Alright,
Rachel.
pass to Rachel.
My Twitter's down there.
She never
Ugly
remembers it.
Ducky. I think it's like the Ugly Ducky 97.
You
Pretty
got
sure.
it right.
Yeah.
Did I? Oh my god, awesome. I tweet about school, my boyfriend, dogs. It's great. It's a good time. Yeah. All right. Jess.
Hi. You can find me at. Oh, I actually pointed the right way. At Sweet Nine Tails. Twitter, Instagram. I'm probably gonna be posting mostly convention stuff at the end of this week. / probably getting really drunk.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pass it off to Oliver.
I'll be here 2 weeks from now.
Excellent, excellent. On that note, let's close it out, and I can't wait for the next game.
Woo! Woo! Good night, everybody.